Let me start off by saying this because I think there's only one thing that I could do, one way I should say, that I could start this stream, start the post game show. And that's by saying that I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because if you guys have watched the channel for long enough, you would know that with David Peterson, I was always, we make jokes here about him benefiting off of the defense and all that stuff. We make jokes here about him, and last year more so than this year. I think this year I've come around more to Peterson, but last year I definitely would slander him a little bit, call him results man and everything. So I got to start off by saying I'm sorry because he is a certified dog. That's just how he is. Just whether it's saying to the media the thing they did after the game against the Dodgers, just saying Otani's another hitter, and then going out there chucking 9 scoreless innings versus the Nationals, saving this bullpen that desperately needed rest, giving length against a poor team, or I should say poor. They're kind of more middle of the pack, if you will. If you want to be nice with the Nationals, but you should be beating this team either way. And David Peterson, unbelievable. Unbelievable outing. And he is the driving factor in the Mets winning amongst the top of the order, coming through and getting the job done, which we'll talk more about that as well as other things. But leave a like on your way into the post-game show here. This post-game episode 68 or post-game 58, I should say. As the Mets win 5-0 over the Washington Nationals. Leave a like, subscribe, turn on your notifications and all that stuff. Man, you got to sweep them tomorrow, though, now. I mean, you got Kodai Senga on the mound with a fully rested bullpen. Go out there and sweep. No reason not to. But just everything that David Peterson did tonight, it was beautiful. It was just beautiful. 13 whiffs, especially in that last frame where you could tell he had the adrenaline rush on his side. Once he struck out James Wood, there was not a doubt in my mind that, because I was like, sometimes I feel like with these complete games, it's a fun story until they got to get the final out. But once he struck out James Wood, there was not a doubt in my mind that he was going to throw a complete game. Once Tyrone Taylor, which I know the defense and everything, Tyrone Taylor made that play in the 8th inning. You just knew he was going to give you that kind of outing. And I was scared if that run did score that they were going to have to go to the bullpen. Not, in terms of blowing the game, but just because of the fact that one, I would have liked to avoid the bullpen with how Peterson was pitching. And 2, I wanted to see him get the complete game, and he did. 6 hits, no earned runs, not a single walk, by the way, in this entire outing. 6 strikeouts. Getting 5 whiffs on the slider. The way he made James Wood look absolutely stupid in that last at bat. And the thing that is the biggest takeaway for me with Peterson in general this season versus last season, because last season, even when he was having success throughout last season, there was always a roadblock in his outings where once he would go through the order the 3rd time, or, once he's like halfway through the order the 3rd time, that's when you would see David Peterson really hit a wall. And every single time it was just a couple runs and his outings would unfortunately get cut short. This year, the biggest difference is he is getting through the order a 3rd time a lot more. It at least feels that way. I could be inaccurate in terms of, the stats on that one, but it feels like, and I'm going to see if I could actually find the stats on that, but it feels like at least that David Peterson this year compared to last year just gets through the order a 3rd time way more than he did last season. And for that, you just got to appreciate it. I mean, yeah, 291 pitches facing the order a 3rd time, where last year 455. So I feel like he's on pace to break that. I could be wrong, but I feel like that he's on pace for that. But I mean, even just looking at the stats, just to get the numbers more. Third time through the order, 5.22 FIP. I am surprised that it is that high this year. It's really the walks though hurting him in that regard. Or is that last year that I'm looking at? It might be last year. I don't know. Either way though, I just feel like though this year he's able to get through the third time of the order a lot more. And this also is very true that a lot of it was soft contact today, which was the biggest thing because it's a lot of times Peterson, it's just like hard contact off him, which does worry me of how long he could go in outings. Today, or tonight, I should say, was not like that. Not like that at all. So very encouraging stuff. And then again, in terms of the way they scored the runs today, just because there's not much to break down inning by inning with this one. Really, you could just talk about the fact that in the bottom of the first inning, Nimmo walks and then Pete Alonso double 1-0, which vote him into the All-Star game, as well as Juan Soto, which he hit a 2-run home run after Lindor legging out a great double there on all 9 of his toes that he's got right now. And then Juan Soto just absolutely crushes this ball to right field to make it 3-0. Get Lindor to the All-Star game. Get Alonso in. Soto, the numbers are starting to get there that maybe he could sneak in last minute here. Go vote him anyway. But he is heating up. He looks a lot more comfortable. And it was nice to see him get another home run. And that is 4 straight games at Citi Field now with a home run for Juan Soto, which is what you want to see. You want to see that from your investment. You want to see that when you show up to the ballpark. You want to see Juan Soto hit a home run, and you're getting that now for 4 straight games. And then Brandon Nimmo in the bottom of the 5th hit a home run, which made it 4-0. He hit one in the bottom of the 7th, his next at bat, to make it 5-0. The sledgehammer working for Brandon Nimmo in that on deck circle. Top of the order got it done. The bottom of the order, it sucks that you got no hits beyond Jeff McNeil in the bottom of the order. And even if you include that, it is 1 hit from the rest of your lineup outside the top 4. So not ideal in that regard, but it's good to at least see the top of the order come through, because for me right now, the way that I'm looking at this is I want those guys going, win games, and hopefully the bottom of the order could get addressed by the deadline, because earlier in the season it was just kind of Jekyll and Hyde with the offense in terms of the top of the order, getting it done, not getting it done. Now that you're seeing those 4 guys in particular, which Brandon Nimmo, by the way, has to stay in the 2-hole. I do not care if there's a lefty on the mound. Keep him in the 2-hole. You're going to have to surround these guys with some better depth. It is just that simple. I mean, Jared Young, not good enough. Terren's starting to cool off, unfortunately, but I think it's also because he's not playing as much. Beatty, I've been talking about how he's cooled off quite a bit. Mauricio, an 0-4 day. And I mean, 1 for 8 with runners in score position is not ideal. It's not ideal at all. But the top guys at least are getting going, which is the biggest encouraging thing to me, because if those guys stay consistent, you surround them with depth, it will help. But a lot of work to be done with the depth because they are not getting it done still. But either way, yeah, very entertaining game today, especially if you are a fan of pitching, because again, David Peterson just went out there and balled. And again, I got to give credit though to Tyrone Taylor going out there and just the way that he plays center field. It's beautiful. Just love watching him hoop out there, because that when that ball went into the outfield, and again, I thought right then there, I'm like, David Peterson's not getting the complete game. But shame on me to underestimate Tyrone Taylor throwing out Luis Garcia at the dish. Shame on me. But just a great play there. And then good work just in general with the defense all around throughout this game. Even though a lot of it was soft contact from Peterson, still a lot of good work tonight. But yeah, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe, turn on your notifications, and all that stuff. Let's see what you guys have to say Results, man. David Peterson. Peterson, take a bow. Take a bow indeed. Beautiful game all around. Results, man, with ace stuff and pitching deep in the games will be huge moving forward. I can't call him results, man, for the time being. I got to be honest. I'm not going to be calling him results, man, for a bit. So he's going out there and I mean, he just can't even explain it. He just has a sack. I guess that's just what it is. It's just that simple. He just got a sack. No pause, by the way. It's just the truth. So until further notice, I can't say it. Which means next start I'll have to say it, right? Prime position to sweep, saying on the mound tomorrow in a fully rested bullpen. Exactly. Yes. And then who are the Nationals again sending out there tomorrow? To pitch? I can't find it. Whatever. Either way, though, yeah, I mean, you got to complete the sweep. Doesn't get much better than that. Have a day. David Peterson, Wanso putting up some good hits. Nimmo and the usuals. Yes. The top dogs getting it done, which is what you want to say. Soto's making a late push for the All-Star game, even though he looks sad. He does look sad. Yes, the Lion himself, Michael Kay, was saying that he looks depressed. Which the Lion's going to be at the Met game tomorrow, apparently. So that'll be interesting. See if there's any clips from the parking lot. Soroka on the mound. Okay, so Nimmo at least is going to hit second. Hell yeah, let's go. Mets, absolutely phenomenal job by David Peterson. Absolutely, Steven. Absolutely. I don't think you could say he's down from his Yankee season. I mean, statistically, yes, and obviously, yes, but it really just was, he needed time. And I feel like ever since Michael Kay, the lion that he is, like I mentioned, opened his mouth, I feel like Soto's numbers are all-star worthy. And same with that guy that drives by Citi Field. I'm not even gonna bring him up by name, but you guys know if you know. Um, yeah. Ever since then, I feel like he's just been producing. He is unhappy here. Don't get it mistaken. Yes, Peter Griffin will refer to him as. Just like watching Guillorme play the field in terms of how enjoyable Taylor is. Could get behind that. 1 through 6. How would I rank the guys in the rotation 1 through 6? I mean, I don't know if I'd include Blackburn yet, just because we haven't seen enough. If I'm gonna rank the 5 guys though that have like really made a good amount of starts this year, because I think that's the fairest way to do it, I would say number 1 still Senga. I know Peterson had a great start tonight. Senga though, I feel like still has to go 1. 2 is either Peterson or Holmes. I mean, they're kind of tied there. 4, I would say Canning, and then 5, McGill. And yes, shout out to Mendoza for letting Peterson go out there for the 9th to begin with, because he could have easily pulled the plug there, but he did not. Obviously, it would have been different if it was like a 1-run game, 2-run game, 3-run game, but 5-run game, you got to let him go out there. Yeah, I would probably lean towards this order. I know it's hard to, it might be a little bit of recency bias now with Peterson doing what he did tonight. But Holmes has been unreal all season long. Either way, this rotation is just so much better than everyone gave it credit for going into the season. And a lot of the stuff is sustainable. And they still have Sean Mania coming back, like Max is saying. And they do have Montas. Not that he's been great in rehab. But again, I'm willing to wait and see what he does when he comes back from rehab before judging him in any regard. But yeah, I mean, they have reinforcements coming. That's the scary part. And they're doing this good. And I can't wait for Mania to be back too. And who knows? Maybe they're going to acquire a starter as well at the trade deadline. And then additions to the pen. I don't know if they're going to make any additions to the pen, to be honest, because I think once they're this team's healthy, I think Tyler McGill is going to Syracuse. I'm not going to lie to you. I really think he's going to go back down to Syracuse at this point because he still has one more minor league option. But maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe they view him as a quality reliever. Could be. Even though he has been struggling a bit better lately, but Trey Kreider from Michael K. Trey McGill, maybe that's also a possibility that I've thought about too. Is that maybe one of these guys gets traded? Maybe someone gets traded, and it's probably McGill if it's going to be anyone. But maybe you trade him. But the other side to it is like because McGill has one more minor league option, do you trade him? Because it's hard to give away an arm in Syracuse that could come up and give you a start if you need it in a crunch. That at least will be effective. And I know that we say what we do about McGill, but I trust him more than a lot of other guys in the depth chart at the end of the day. I don't know. That's going to be a tough call, though. I think the only addition they make to the bullpen is another lefty. Raleigh will be back, and I think that lefty will be a Castillo replacement. I could also see them getting a right-handed arm for the bullpen too. I could see them going for a high leverage guy back there, or you know maybe slightly lower leverage, unless they're relying on Nunez to come back up and be that guy or Kranick. But if those two guys aren't going to be relied upon, I think they got to get another righty back there because right now, I mean, you got a revolving door. It's been Justin Garza. We've seen Herget. We've seen Davinsky, all these other guys, a revolving door. Plus, you never know if an injury could come up. And I'd rather just get another right-handed arm, even if it's not a completely high leverage guy, but someone you could at least rely upon a decent amount. I'd rather have that as a safety blanket versus, over relying on the depth because then your depth is Nunez and Kranick at that point. But I think it all depends on that, to be honest with you. They still have 2 months, a month and a half or so, whatever you want to say, to figure out if Nunez could be relied upon and if they could bring up Kranick again, see if he could be relied upon. But either way, I mean, this is true too, that you can't really worry about the bullpen with David Stearns at the helm. For me, it's the offense that it comes down to is where are you going to fill in the roster there? How are you going to address the fact that the bottom of the order needs help desperately? You got to lengthen this lineup. I think that's the most important thing. But I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live. And I'll see you guys in the next one.